Getting excited just by these potential picks, but I can't get too ahead of myself here.
Ooh, gonna get ahead, but we're gonna see a bit of Iron Fist as well. Gonna be cool to see a bit of Loki action from Quarry. Is good. Again, Loki has not been banned, Matt. We might see Loki for once, and a bit of mischievous matters will happen. Now we're rolling in. We're going to Hydra Charter Space. As we know, decommissioned shield base in the old comics, and Hydra has taken it over, has done it dusted, has cleaned it up, has put a bit of this, bit of that, and a bit of that. Hive filth, you know Hive as well, a great villain. Actually been teased in some artwork by Marvel Rivals. Might potentially be coming out. A great villain. A bit of mind control coordination. Hive is a great concept. It's going to be really cool to see if Hive makes it to the Marvel Rivals roster one day. What an exciting villain to see. And the designs are there. The teasing is there. It's going to be cool to see as we roll on into a gap, starting it off with the squad ready to go with the Doctor Strange in the front lines and Zavier Hope as well, ready to go. Red corner and blue corner ready to fight it out. Let's see how this all unfolds as we start off with a portal from Gapped.
That we will, but it looks like what I wanted to see has finally come to see the light of day. It's the Lunar Hawkeye team up here from Spades and Tizzy Tamer TTV. So curious to see how that one's going to play out, as we will find Zavier Hope right now trying to dish out a bit of damage from above here. See if they can manage to climb up the stairs. Meet Me though trying to get into the back line here. Gonna have to retreat back on the Iron Fist. Spades, nice shot, does find a gap 4 there. Gonna see if they can find any others on the KOs here, shutting down some of the clones from Loki there as well. Lots of damage trickling through from Zavier Hope, and they will be able to bring up the vibes, take down every single player, and take the early mission area control.
Early control is exactly what they want right now. Zavier Hope starting strong. Closer than ever to their ultimates. Invisible Woman at the 60% mark, as well as Coffin, as well as Killer. That's the one you want right there. Good pressure. But Gapped are close behind. Same with that absolute legendary Hyperbolic out there with, of course, the Eternal Bond. We're going to be coming up very soon for them to get sustained in the next game fight and the team fight. And it's going to be a good one. Fire's been set down to start it off. Burning forward right now. The question is how they're going to approach this. Pushing forward as we see Coffin flying in the sky. Bit of a dark pulse there. The Maelstrom is going off. Starting it up right now. Looks like Gapped are stuck in a bit of a position where, of course, Spades is going to be landing arrows after arrows and getting a pick on Hyperbolic in the backline when you least expect it. That's a value right there. Turning it into a 6v5. Big fire slam from Coffin Merchant. Catches out Mimi. And Coffin's on the backline right now. Going once, going twice. Push and punish. The Gapp gets picked up by Tamer on the side. The ice is working well. The Snowflake is there, enabling Coffin Merchant. And they're pushing her back. Gapp's going back into the corner. The shields are up, but it's just not enough. The Loki lamps are there. Just a bit of runes to keep him healthy, to keep him sustained, to just get out of there, regroup. 60% on the board for Zavier, as they're feeling confident with everybody's ults except Mimi online. Whoa! This might go off.
Oh yeah, good. Hunter Sight going to be online for Spades right now as well. This is a perfect opportunity to get some KOs out of this one, but no, Mimi going to be the first one to find something. Final Judgment online for Gap 4 as well. A great way to react. Genzo, oh my gosh! Getting the quad KO on for the Penta! Can you believe it? You'd think Donald's the only one dunking on it, but Genzo is in town as well. They will be able to turn the tides of that fight immediately, and they are punching this percentage ahead. What a fight that was!
Genzo out here with the Mamba mentality. What a massive Penta to start it off with. Starting with a triple from the Magneto Meteor, and there it is. Confident as ever. Hell's Haven, clean cut victory for Zavier Hope on the first round on the Eldritch Monument, as we go to the Super Soldier Factory to find out if there's going to be a flip of the script. Are we going to see a turn of the tides? Is it going to go in favor for Zavier Hope again, or are Gapped going to get themselves some points on the board?
Ooh, looks like they are going to be bringing out the Venom this time. So excited to see if they can get some points on the board with that one. You know, Feast of the Abyss, a bit of fun to play with, but not today. Not today. No, they looks like they've taken some inspiration there, switching Gap 4 onto the Hawkeye this time as well. So curious if that's going to spell a bit of trouble as well with the Groot there. They've definitely got a more creative approach this time around, but I mean, we'll see what they can navigate out of this one. I like how Genzo switched it up to the Penny as well here. Definitely can find some potential out of it, but we're not going to hold on to Penny. It's back to Magneto, back to the dunks, and back to bringing it in with style. Mission area getting on the unlock in the next 20 seconds here, and both teams are already prepared to face off, but the portals are cutting them off from the mission area.
Shades of Lumi in the skies right here. Well-timed portal, well-enabled, well done by them right there, pushing it for mission area. Is going to unlock in 5 seconds. Already, it looks like both teams got a couple folks on point presence right there, but Gap's going to push Zavier Hope back a little bit. Capture first early. But wait a minute, Ganza is caught out on the back line. Will they be able to regroup with the strategist right there? It's okay for now, as Tamer's there, Fluent is there as well. Just give him a bit of sustain, help them rotate around, help them get around, but Obscure's in the front line with the group. Ironwood Wall just barely misses Ganza and catches him out. But, of course, Zavier Hope right now bleeding a little bit. A lot of damage has been taken by the Agamotto connects. Will it be enough for the damage? There it is right now in the Fire Tornadoes. The Pyro Prison has been achieved by Coffin Merchant, but the Eternal Bond is there to answer it. Hybolical sets it up. That's a double from Hybolical on the Cloak and Dagger. Woo! Putting in the work. That's the way you see it. And they're going to actually eternally seal that victory for them on this fight because they just set it down. The Bond was there. They put in a few elims themselves, and they turned it around when you least expected it. Honestly, well-timed, shut down Coffin's damage, shut down the Agamotto's potential, and that just means Gak is ready to land a big Agamotto next fight going into it.
Ooh, I like to see the frozen arrow coming out there. Obscure held in place for a second, and Hunter's Sight now going to be online. God of Mischief as well here. Quarry looking into it. Strangling Prison as well right now, trying to get a bit of impact through. They do find it with a Vine Strike there. Coffin Merchant is out of it, but Fate of Both Worlds is going to keep Zavier Hope online for a while longer. Gak does have Eye of Agamotto. Here we go. Might be able to turn the flow of this one. There, the double KO comes through. Finding Tizzy Tamer, finding Space. They're looking for more out of this one, and we'll get it with a Maelstrom of Madness there. Obscure trying their best to hold on, and it's Genzo time again. Another dunk finds Gap 4 out of the mix. Coffin Merchant bouncing on. Holy moly, takes Quarry off the map there with the Flame Strike. My gosh, just when you think Gaps might have a way back in, Zavier Hope spinning the dice and will take the point back.
Ooh, could you believe it, Messi? Taking the point back, turning the tides. The question is now, they can't drop a team fight. They got to win at least 2 to 3 team fights in a row right now. If they want to stagger out that, make it that 2 team fights, that's going to be in their favor as well. But they've got the Ice Arrow. They've got the Agamotto. Pyro is going to be ready soon. Supernova will be there to fire it on up. And many more things to happen as well. But Hybolic was there to answer with the Eternal Bond. Mimi can take to the skies on the Hela. But let's see what Gap lines out now as the Agamotto flies to the skies and stuns out Zavier Hope. Space gets another pick on. The Quarry in the back. Gap gets the pick on. Confident in the back. It's the Battle of the Hawkeye landing it off. Then Gap goes for one. That's Tamer taken out. Space takes down. Killer taken out. Gaza down. That's Mimi. That's one each apiece for the Gap squad right there as they turn around. 91%, 92%. It's going to be on Zavier Hope to land a portal here. Does Spades have the portal up to land it and contest it? We're going to find out very soon, very quickly, and it's done. As bad the last moment, Coffin slams down and contests enough time to get the portal going up. Zavier still has hope as they go forward with a massive grit, imprisonment, and the strangling has begun as Obscure takes one, and it takes 2. Genzo and Spades are out. Tamer taken down by Gak. The boundary's there to keep him sustained, and it looks like Hybolic goes out, and Gak goes off the map. From a boot from the Invisible Woman, and Gap takes out Killer in the skies. Overtime ticks down and out in favor of Gap, who turn the tides and get themselves a point on the board and claiming the Super Soldier Factory.
Oh my gosh, can you believe it? They have managed to take some control there. Super Soldier Factory. We're going to the frozen airfield, and what a better way to get into it with a different composition on the board again now. Curious to see how this is going to play out. I saw Black Panther for a second from Killer 5001, so curious to see if they'll switch back to that later. Hopefully not, but who knows. We'll see. Spades thinking on the Spider-Man as well. Very different approach if they opt into that one, but no, it's going to be Wolverine here, so very curious if that is going to net them some success here in trying to shut down that Hawkeye, as well as the rest of their opponents. Mimi in particular, a dangerous foe they are faced with, but they're going to be facing them head on now as we jump in into the next sector. It's time for the mission area unlock in 25 seconds. Both teams primed up. pacing their way towards the missionary right now. They are getting ready to trade blows in this one. You know they're pumped up. You know they want to take this first map. And it's time to get cracking.
Ooh, I would love to get cracking because Coffin's out here on the Bucky. That's the way we do reminders, Bucky. The Coffin Merchant Bucky is known to get 2 hexes in 1 round. Let's see if it's going to happen again. Killer starts it off, catching out Gak. The ultimates are going off at the start of a round. I absolutely love the fact ultimates carry over in rounds. That is the beauty of Marvel Rivals. Genzo hits it on Quarry. Space takes out of skill. Have a look at force for Coffin. Coffin hits the double KO, getting out gapped and goes and pushes and Spades cleans house on Mimi with Zavier Hope getting the first bit of percentage in this round. That's the way it is right there, Matsy. They're going to push forward. They're going to claim this. They're going to hold the choke. Thor is now here from Gak. We're going to see if they bring the Thunder. Abolico's out here. Mimi's still on the Iron Fist. I might consider a bit of a Moon Knight switch. Might be good here. Moon Knight is absolutely a great pick to go into a group. The question is, will they make that switch for now? We'll see as we go. We're going to see, of course, Hawkeye. Ultimate ready to go. Laser focus. Just never misses. Never even misses a chance to take the opportunity to get the value out of that ult. Genzo goes for Gak right now. Mimi's on the back line. How are they going to unfold as we enter into this team fight?
And here we are. It's going to be plenty of KOs coming out of the mix there. Spades shut down, and the percentage will fall back to Gapped. So, 40% for Zavier Hope. A good way to kick things off in their favor, but Gapped are now in the driver's seat. Do have Strangling Prison available. Living Chi around the corner as well. So, definitely curious to see if they can keep them out of the mission area, out of the town hall here. We'll see what they are going to be able to do, though. Few ultimates online for Zavier Hope as well. They got their own prison available, and they could activate it right now. Look, Obscure goes down. That's an opening honor to the side here, but they're brought back by the BRB Beacon, and they are going to be able to find Spades out of this one as well. Gacked up high, reach for the sky, down low. They're too slow, taking damage for days, and the KO comes through for Coffin Merchant. Kraken Impact as well, desperately trying to clever around. They find the Groot out of it, looking to bounce around the back as well. A poor strategist is in deep trouble, and they end up in the rubble there. Hypolical is out of time and out of action as Zavier Hope bring it back.
Again and again, when you least expect that, Coffin's there to bring the Kraken Impact back, and Spades is there to follow. They're both ready to go. They're both old war buddies. They're going to do it up the way you do it up, and the way they're going to do it up is that it's going to be done up and dusted as they feel confident going to 60% right now. Zavier Hope on the high ground, trying to get the flank, trying to catch him out. Of course, Spades on the flank goes directly for the strategist. Oh, actually tries to kidnap the Groot instead, and the big shred. Last tank will be on the line. Mimi's going to try to go for the back line right now. Hitting it once, hitting it twice, going for the invisible woman. Will it be enough for the roundhouse kick, for the Kunlun kick right there? Mimi taking out Flowen, hitting the Living Chi. The Dragon of Shallow rises within them as the Genzo charges up immediately on, slams this down and catches out Habolico trying to run away. There it is right now, but the fate of both worlds is there to keep him sustained. Coffin's going straight for Thor. Thunder is being thrown, but the Merchant has sold, and there it goes as Gak is taken down by the Bucky right there, and we're going to move forward as the walls are going up. 91%, 92%. Hypolico's got that portal ready to go. They need to get back because they're already on point. Wake up and turn around going into this next one. It's about to go off, Matt.
Oh, better go off. Hunter's side going offline. Kraken Impact is online for Coffin Merchant here, trying to hunt down another pick out of this one. We'll see if they are going to be able to get it. They have managed to take them off the point. Goodbye, Quarry. And it could be goodbye map 1, just like that. Zavier Hope bring back their hopes and dreams and take away the 3rd point on Frozen Airfield. Hell's Heaven will send them one step further forward as they take a sweet victory in map 1. But, Liger, this is only the beginning. We've got our MVP here, TT Tamer, TTV on the Lunar Snow with the Mirror 20/99 skin. Get on that one in the store if you're interested. And let's take a look at these stats.
Ooh, highly likely performance that you expected in such a 10-minute game with, of course, Hypolico getting SVP on the squad right there from Gap, doing a big presence as, of course, the Doctor Strange, you know.
Seeing Hulk again? Is this day 1 again? Surely not. Surely no more? No way. We haven't seen that all tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Surely not. They're toying with us right now. There's no way. There is no way. I'm getting excited on what's on its way here. But it's just going to be the Asgardian team-up and coming to full fruition in this one. Love to see a bit of Loki come out of the mix there. You don't see that one let through all the time. So curious how that's going to play out as we head towards the mission area now. Both teams getting prepped, ready to storm the gates, ready to seal their fates in battle here. As both teams are excited for what's to come out of this one, excited for what's going to be amongst their path.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, apologies for that. Now we're getting into the action as we go forward. Gact is here on the Thor, feeling confident, pushing forward. There it is. Penny has been switched off, of course. We're going to see the Thor action today, Massey. That's the way we want to see it. Am I right or am I right? Now moving forward, Mimi is here, doing the pressure, doing it up. That's the way it's going to be. But forward, here we go. Massey, I got a question for you, though. Coffin Merchant on the Bucky. Is this what we want to see?
Yes. This is exactly what we want to see. That is an easy question with an easy answer. Yes, we want to see that Kraken impact coming out nice and quickly. And I reckon we might just be seeing it sooner or later here. Gact, though, on the Thor right now. Going to be holding down the mission vehicle here, trying their best to stop them in their tracks. And one of the same is Killer 5001 there. We'll see who is going to find the best impact. It's going to be Genzo. Nice KO onto Obscure there. Looking to see if they can obscure some of the vision of their opponents. Ooh, could actually catch Gact on track there. But no, they will be able to escape with their life intact. So no KOs coming out of that one. But we do have a few ultimates starting to come into the mix here. Zavier Hope in particular. They got the God of Mischief online, but Gapt, they have Eternal Bond, and they have the Invisible Boundary, and now Omega Hurricane, and here comes the Eternal Bond. They're pushing into it.
Woo! Directly under them is the Eternal Bond. Hybolical's feeling confident, pushing forward. Bounty's ready if they need. We're gunning them down on the Punisher. That's the pressure you want. Coming straight from Mimi is the one that's right there. We're going to see the dance of the both worlds. And matching it is Gap. Oh, my days. We're seeing Moki switching in. That's a new player on the roster here today. I love to see it on the Storm. But the real Storm is Gap on the Thor. Slamming down with the Royal Thunder, taking out 3. That's the triple KO for the Thor. Spades returns a favor to getting a triple KO of their own, but is outmatched by Moki on the Storm. But it's in favor. Killer's gonna retreat, sending the Love and Thunder back to spawn. And that looks like a crazy team fight between these guys right here. Both getting triple KO after triple KO, but it looks like it's in favor of Gapt as they push past first gate and are moving directly into the second section.
Let's see if they can manage some greatness here. Killer 5001 will be holding from above in this one. Does have God of Thunder online. Might be able to bring some thunder on to Moki there. We'll see if they are going to be able to get it. Good damage from Genzo, shutting down the turret there. Does have Psionic Seduction and will activate, trying their best to press into it with the God of Thunder as well. Boom! Eyebolical is down, and they are looking for more as well. Obscure is out of here. Zavier Hope are bringing up the power, bringing up the energy out of this one. Look at that laser focus onto the Punisher. Poor Mimi is out of here. Gact as well, and they hit the hard reset on it to Gapt there. Zavier Hope not going to overstay their welcome and will fall back to safety.
Falling back to safety is wise. Going back to your spawn. Regroup. Figure out what your game plan is. Because Zavier Hope's on the defense and they're feeling confident, but let's start it up with the Omega. Hurricane dropping directly onto Tamer in the backline. But the Loki, but the Luna, they throw the runes down. They start clapping and they heal everybody up as the strategists do, denying all of the potential that could have come from Storm. And there it is. Another dance for the worlds. And the big Agamotto coming from the squad right there. Obscure hitting it once, hitting it twice, and the Maelstrom connects. Taking out Tamer, Flowing, and Genzo, and Killer fall to one piece each from Gapt. Absolute team wipe right there. Such a well-executed combination, baiting out the ultimates when they needed, getting themselves that value, getting themselves the results they wanted, and they're pushing on forward.
Pushing on forward, they draw the line there. Energy is up, and they might even get it over the stage 2 point here, but it's going to be Zavier Hope stopping them in their tracks. Do have ultimates online as well. KO is going to be going in their favor here, but here comes the fate of both worlds. Tizzy Tamer looking to keep this fight going, looking to keep them alive as much as possible. Murky is out of here, so they are going to find more KOs as well. Genzo flowing them through. Does spot Hybolical around the back, trying their best to shut them out of it. There we go. That is a great staggered KO coming out there. That's going to nullify some of their strategist power and really buy them more time here for Zavier Hope.
Buying the time, exactly what they need right now. Spades throwing daggers, even when they're in spawn, just throwing daggers, farming up that charge, just denying him the push, denying the pressure, forcing him to go a different way, but it doesn't matter because the portal is in the sky. It's a Niagara, and Obscure sets it up, and that's going to be enough for Zavier Hope to regroup right now in a bit of a tough position, but it doesn't matter because Coffin's going to throw a power tornado, but it doesn't matter. He's like about it down and out by the Strange, and it's going to be a tough one, and we see Woki hit the storm. Storming him up in the line, into the room. Tamer's down, Florence down, Spades returns the favor, taking Obscure and Mimi. That's 2 each down for each squad. There it is right now, and Gak takes out Coffin. And we're seeing Genzo chase after the Loki clones, not finding the real one, unfortunately, with a masterclass of the skies coming from Quarry right here, putting them on their toes. Spades is in the skies, taking them down, shutting the damage down. They do manage to get the hold. They got 60 seconds left right here, Matsy. Ultimately, are they gonna push this, or is Gapped gonna hold it down? Sorry, I apologize. Is Gapped gonna push this, or is Zavier Hope gonna hold it down with Spades? Getting a clean pick on Moki there on the Storm so early, so unlucky. The value right there. How does this unfold for them in the final team fight coming up?
We'll see what they are going to be able to make of it as Genzo holds things down up front here, has teammates bouncing around the back as well. Coffin Merchant tracking down some KOs into this one. Look at that damage, choke slam, and they find Gagged out of it. So already a decent beginning, taking out one of the Vanguards out of the mix, are going to enable them further, but we'll see just how much further they can go. They're taking a lot of punishment as well here. Speaking of, Coffin Merchant finds their spark again, will be able to burn through on for 3, surely not more. They're looking to stop them in their tracks, tracking down the Invisible Woman, and just like that, the focus is frontward, but the point is not touched, so it will be a successful defense coming out from Zavier Hope.
Hope has been achieved and locked in for them right now, knowing they only have to push it barely to the second gate. That's the feeling right there that they're feeling. They're feeling confident. They know they can take it. They know they got the points. They know they got the time bank. A question is, are Gapped gonna deny them? It's all on the line right now. Zavier Hope in the lead, of course. But Gapped still beat their hearts hard, and they're feeling confident. They're going to switch it up. They're going to bring out some picks we haven't seen before. We're going to see Coffin hover the Moon Knight. Killer maybe going on the Thing. We might see the Wolverine. Could we see the team up? Could we get Wolverine and Thing? Throwing them forward, denying them. That counters a lot of good picks in the sky. You never know. Flowing on the rocket for now. We're seeing what things could happen. Most likely, we'll probably get, as you said, Massey, a couple armor packs. Maybe even a jetpack, boost their team forward, and switch off to a different strategist. Spacey on the Squirrel Girl. Bit of a different pick. Nice to see a Squirrel Girl, but it's actually pretty good in this map. Good spam, good rebound spots, a lot of pillars you can aim and high and low, and you can get so much value on a Squirrel Girl without the enemy team even seeing you, which is very useful against Hela. Hela has the angles, needs the angles, but Squirrel Girl, she makes her own angles. So that's cool to see. Killer right now scouting the high ground on the Thor in spawn room, seeing what kind of defense Gapped is putting forward. As we know, they got the Punisher, they got the Strange, they're feeling confident with the Loki Quarry, they got Hybolical doing justice on the Invisible Woman, but Mimi's on the Iron Fist. Iron Fist defense, very useful, very flanky, it can shut down a lot of pressure if you time it right.
Yeah, we'll see if they are going to be able to find it. Spades already finding the impact there out of the Squirrel Girl. We'll get Moki out of here. So good KO coming out of that one. And we are finding trades coming out as well. Genzo's down now. Quarry holding from afar, and it leaves a nasty scar there. Mimi going down, traded on to Killer 5001. Gacked out of here as well. So good KOs coming through there from both sides of the coin here, but it's going to be favoring Zavier Hope out of this one. Spades just pumping through damage, trying their best to take Moki out of the fight again, and they just can't find a way in. They're just taking too much punishment, and it causes a much easier push forward for Zavier Hope.
Now, going forward, we're going to see Genzo on the diamond form. The queen, the white queen herself, pushing forward, starting to start up the fight. Killer, bring in the Thor force right here. Genzo takes out Mimi on the side. Genzo gets another double gag. That's the work of the Emma Frost. Killer's going forward. Strange is getting swung on by Mjolnir right there. That's the way you want it. That's the pressure right now. Zavier Hope is just getting an uncontested push right now. Gap are not grouping up right now. They're trying to figure out what they can do. Switching it up to the Psylocke. Maybe changing things here and there. It's a bit of a tough one for them. We're going to find out very soon what their game plan is going into this, because 5 minutes in the time bank for Zavier Hope, it's looking very beneficial for them. It's only going to be a couple wins and they're on their way to claiming the larger portion of the prize pool for themselves. But it's not over yet, as anything can happen on Yggdrasil Path, as Gap have been known to surprise us many times before. Let's find out as we kick it off into the Loki, hitting the quarry. That's the one right there, as it kicks off into the Fate of the Both Worlds. Matzi, it's going to be 2 Fate of the Both Worlds. That's right, it's the Fate of all 4 worlds, as another big Agamotto connects right there into the Thor, slamming down, but he's frozen before he lands. It's a Gap and Genzo getting picked off. That's the one right there, and they push, and my goodness, Matzi, there it is, a double from the Psylocke.
Can you believe it? KO's coming out in droves there, and Gapped will be able to hold them off a while longer. But bear in mind, Zavier Hope, they've got 4 more minutes to push this one. They have all the time in the world here. If they can manage to make Gapped use some of their ultimates, it's only going to make their own path forward all the much better. Speaking of, they're bringing out the Psionic Seduction. Fate of Both Worlds going to be coming out as well here. Mimi, Supernova time, are trying their best to get some KOs. They find Blowing out of this. Loki down and out. We'll see if they can catch anyone else here. Yes, they will. Gento is out of here. They're fighting everybody in the back line there. This is not working out for Zavier Hope whatsoever. They find at least a couple in the back there. Goodbye to Moki, but it's not going to be enough here. They need to continue to fight on and find a way to push this mission vehicle.
Ooh, and pushing it is their goal right now. 3 minutes left. They only got to go around the corner. They only got to take it to the doorstep. Not even the door itself. Coffin gets a pick on a massive quarry in the backline. Loki's down and out. Then Genzo's pushing forward, trying to hit the choke slam, double slam, done and dusted on the Absolute Thor. Gets a pick on the Absolute Strange. That's obscure. Out of here. The lamps from Loki. The massive runes are sustaining them. And then we're pushing. And Zavier Hope's pushing. And Gap somehow lost the fight. Barely even started to kick off with a massive ultimate there. But it's going to look like we're going to see the Loki be in position. Quarry just dancing around, trying to absolutely distract them, trying to get them to stop pushing. But this is it. This is the final push for Zavier Hope. This is the question right now. Are Gap going to hold it down with a portal behind them? It looks like Killer's going to see it as we go forward. And will it be enough for the Massey as they all kick off?
Kick off. Agamotto going to be coming out as well. Goddess of Death finding the impact. Goodbye, Mimi. Spades tracking well into that one. Here comes the God of Thunder from Gact there, trying their best to find a way in, but they're going to be shot straight out. Genzo, good for it. Spade's going to be traded back as well here. Looking to see if they can catch anyone else. Beast of the Abyss is out from Killer 5001 there as well. You'll blink and you'll miss it type action. And speaking of, Fate of Both Worlds is online from TC Tamer here, desperately clamouring around. Quarry will win the battle of the Gods of Mischief there, but it's Zavier Hope, still fighting, still kicking on the point right now, still trying their best to make an impact, and Killer 5001 ran it back and catches Loki.
And a Psionic Seduction there that absolutely nullifies the Agamotto. That's the one you want. Gak pushes forward on Tamer again, swing it once, swing it twice. There it is. Odin Force rises within this store. That's Gak pushing forward, and they're going to cover back. Barely a couple meters left. Are Gap going to be there to contest it? The movement is not there just yet, but it's a 1v1 in the hallway. Coffin wins it against Gap, and that's Moki taken down by Coffin. Quarry hits the res. Moki's going to enter the fight again. 1 minute 25 on the clock. Gap have control of the goats right now. It is the final chance for them to hold this defense. If Zavier Hope win this fight, that is it. That is theirs, and it is game, set, and match. But we're seeing the dance of the butterfly kickoff from Moki on the Psylocke, and it's not going to get the value as Flowens absolutely sustains the team with Tamer as well. Their ultimates are rising up. Gact is trying to get into a position to start up this next fight. Hella goes once, and a Supernova kicks off right there in the skies, and Gact is going for the backline, swinging once, swinging twice. The Thor, Mjolnir going hard, and Coffin's throwing the Pyro Nados, and there it is. Coffin gets a pick onto Mimi. The dance of the both worlds. The amplifier's there, but it's getting absolutely focused down and out by Zavier Hope. Just when you think Quarry has the ultimate to enable them, but the Royal Thunder rises up and slams down. Getting Spades with a Nagamoto, pushing him into the roof. Then they're going to cap him out. Coffin's trying to contest and catches out Moki on the point. There it is right now with Iron Fist on the line, ready to go. The fight of the century right now. 30 seconds left, Matsy. This is it as we're about to enter overtime, but do they get it?
That's going to be the ultimate question, isn't it? Because the fight just never stops. Both teams really rushing their way through. Good impact from Spider-Man there, almost taking down the strategist, but will not be able to make it happen. Mr. Fantastic coming out from Mimi here. Hello. Definitely keen to see if that one's going to find the impact here. As Moki desperately clambers around, we've got a Fate of Both Worlds online again from TZ Tamer here. Copper Merchant focusing up the back line there to take down one strategist, looking in for the next as well. Rocket is out of here. No more strategists, no more problems. Let's see if they can find the rest of their opponents on point right now. They are locking down the vanguards. Invisible Woman's going to be back online here, but Spider-Man swings to action. The spectacular spin saves the day. Spades pushing on into spawn, lock them down, get them away from that point, and just like that, everybody, Zavier Hope will secure victory and take the series.
And they take it in fantastic and amazing fashion with a Spider-Man to seal the deal. That's the way you want it. Hope has been achieved for Zavier Hope. They get victory, they claim a good spot, and they're feeling confident. We're flowing on the absolute god of mischief with this Loki. Putting the work in, putting the strategic presence in. There it is, in favor, 2-0 Zavier Hope. Well played by Gap. And that is your final matchup of the group stage in Marvel Rivals Ignite this week. What a showing. What an amazing match to end on. Such a great team fight. That was like a 4-minute team fight at the end there. You'll love to see it. That is the beauty of Marvel Rivals right there with Flo on the massive Loki MVP. 45k healing. You'll love to see it. So much power, so much pressure. So good. And of course, you got to give SVP respect. The game knows it. We know it. Gacked on the door. Absolutely worthy more than ever, bringing out the Thor. I believe we did see a bit of Thor from Zavier Hope, but I think on the paper it was definitely going to be a Thor that was gacked to be absolutely recognized for some massive Royal Thunder drops, landing them, Mjolnir swinging, everything's so confident. Matsy, they felt so good there. But I think those switches towards the end there were definitely the switches